Hello there. A recent but recurring thread on Reddit got my attention the other day. Someone was asking about when was the best time to go for teleporter picks, and when was it best to ignore the teleporter and go for a frag instead. I initially didn't think much about it, but after writing up a reply about King of the Hill product, it really got me thinking. There actually is a weird metagame behind teleporters, which I hadn't really put much thought into before, and after looking up on YouTube, there isn't really much detail on it. So to cut it short, I've decided to make a, again, short, recurring series on the importance of popular teleporter spots. And by importance I mean as an engineer, when it's worth it to go back and rebuild your teleporter after someone destroys it, and as a spy, soldier, scout, in any flanking class, when it's worth giving up your position to destroy the teleporter. The basic argument being, is it really worth giving up a free spawn kill or two to just break one building? So, after thinking about this series, I realised this call changes quite a bit, more than I expected. So, today we're going to be talking about the 6 main teleporter spots on Badwater. This is aimed at competitive players, however I've included a couple of popular pub spots too, for a couple of reasons. One is that the Highlander meta is constantly changing. Sometimes they hold roof, sometimes they don't, sometimes they hold second, sometimes they completely skip it and go back to third. And the other one is that often teleporters in Highlander don't even have entrances. Sometimes the engineer just builds a hidden exit and uses it to flank after the point's captured. So without any further rambling, we're just going to get straight on with the video. This first teleporter spot isn't really one you'll see that often, because it's the one that you use while you're attacking second or roof, and often in Highlander these days, teams don't even hold roof. However, I've left it in just in case, because some teams still do hold second, and this spot still sometimes is used. But as you can see, there's not that much of a bonus for using it. This next spot you see is one that you'll be seeing used a lot. It's the one that you use while you're attacking third, the spot which is considered in Highlander one of the hardest to push. As a result, the teleporter spot is incredibly useful. If you're playing Spy, I'd highly recommend just camping first and killing the teleporter, because it saves so much time in the long run. This final spot you're seeing is one of the more important ones. While the time save isn't that enormous, teams often pile up bodies, so you'll be seeing people, rather than coming in waves, they'll often just be going one at a time, and that teleporter really does add up, as on the last point, they don't really care about keeping players alive for future pushes, because all they need to do is cap, so as a result, I'd highly recommend going after this teleporter if it's up. This first spot used on offense is one of the most important ones on the map because the time save is enormous, and it often forces teams to have to push all the way back to third once they lose first. Highly recommend going after it, and the other thing is that you'll already be behind the team when you get the teleporter, so there's a really good opportunity to spawn camp. This next spot isn't very useful for Highlander because roof isn't really held anymore, but it's still useful for pubs in lower divisions where it is used. The first step to breaking the roof hold is forcing their team to have to run through a sniper sightline if they want to keep holding it, which most teams won't do because they'd much rather hold it loosely and go back to third where they can actually establish a proper hold. And this final spot is the one that you'll probably be seeing the least used, because it's often where the engineer now just puts a teleporter exit for flanking later. If it's up, I wouldn't recommend going after it because it's negligible and you're giving away your position. So there you go, that's all I wanted to discuss in this video. It's a relatively simple idea. All I wanted to do was to open some people's eyes as to how important some of these teleporters are, especially while you're attacking first. The teleporter that they're using to defend on saves so much time, and while you're defending last, that teleporter saves a lot of time in the long run. So just hope that this has educated some people. If you did find it useful, please do let me know. I'll probably be continuing with this series with other popular maps. If there's any suggestions you'd like, feel free to make them in the comments. I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.